You're listening to Days at Dogwood Canyon, a Dogwood Canyon Audubon Center podcast. I'm Kiersten, Center Coordinator, Community Programs at Dogwood Canyon, and I invite you to join me, my extraordinary colleagues, and guest speakers on a journey into the world of birds, bugs, and native plants of Texas. Every year, billions of birds migrate north in the spring and south in the fall. But did you know that the majority of them fly at night, using the night sky to navigate? It's true. As they pass over big cities on their way, they become disoriented by bright artificial lights and sky glow, often causing them to collide with buildings or windows. But that's not the only danger of a brightly lit cityscape. Lights can throw birds off their migration paths, but bird fatalities are also directly caused by the amount of energy the birds waste flying around and calling out in confusion. The exhaustion can cause them to fall out of the sky and leave them vulnerable to other urban threats, such as cats, cars, and the inability to find food or water. So, how can we help? Audubon asked that very question. The Lights Out program launched approximately 20 years ago in the United States, and over the last 10 years, it has rapidly gained traction across North America. This is a community-led program whose goal is simple: get property owners, building managers, and local governments to shut off, shield, or dim all unnecessary lighting during spring and fall migration when billions of migrating birds make their way north and south at night. Dozens of species are affected, such as the Allen's hummingbird, wood thrush, and golden-winged warbler. Just one building can cause major problems for birds. Within 1 week in 2017, nearly 400 songbirds of varying species were caught in the floodlights of a 32-story Texas skyscraper, and they were killed via window collisions. Now, more on this building in just a moment. Audubon's Lights Out program is a national effort to reduce this problem. The strategy is simple. By convincing building owners and managers to turn off excess lighting during the months migrating birds are flying overhead, we can help provide them safe passage between their nesting and wintering grounds. And we know that we all want to do that. So Audubon set a goal to encourage the 20 most dangerous metropolitan areas for migratory birds to join the Lights Out program. They determined these areas by considering how much artificial light at night each city emanated and the numbers of birds passing through these cities during migration. FYI, Houston and Dallas were on that list. As of today, we have worked with local building owners, city governments, and Audubon chapters to make sure Lights Out programs are in 18 of those top 20 cities, the latest of which were Nashville, Tennessee, and Miami, Florida. More than 45 cities are now implementing Lights Out programs, and a number of statewide and regional Lights Out efforts are underway. Yes! Now let's talk a little bit closer to home. Texas is globally important for birds. Approximately 1 out of every 3 to 4 birds migrating through the U.S. passes over Texas. Lights Out Texas is a community-driven education campaign that asks residents, businesses, and institutions across the Central Flyway to turn off or dim non-essential lights at night during peak spring and fall migration. Okay, let's get back to that 32-story Texas skyscraper, shall we? The American National Insurance skyscraper in Galveston has 20 white beams used to illuminate the plaza each evening. Each week during migration season, up to 400 birds would collide with this building at night. These were fatal collisions. No one was surviving. But in 2017, during spring migration, they turned off all their lights, with the exception of a few office windows and a string of green safety lights that run along the top of the tower. This significantly reduced the bird collisions with this building. And now, leaders from the company that owns the building, Houston Audubon, Galveston County Audubon Society and officials from the city of Galveston are working together to devise a plan for upcoming migration seasons and spreading the word about the Lights Out initiative. Turning out lights at night in big cities is extremely important, as you just heard. But these are all large buildings. Does it really matter if I leave my lights on at home? Yes, it does. The cumulative effect of the outdoor night lights in our neighborhoods can have the same impact on migrating birds. Here are a few guidelines for nighttime lighting you can follow during migration season. Turn off all non-essential lights from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. each night during migration season. Do not use landscape lighting to uplight trees or gardens where birds may be resting. We don't want to do that. We want to give them a nice calm place to chill. Close blinds at night to reduce the amount of light being emanated from your windows inside. For essential lights like security lighting, you can follow the dark sky friendly practices. Aim the lights down. Use lighting shields to direct light downwards and to avoid light shining up into the sky or the trees. Use motion detectors and sensors so lights are only on when you need them. Now here's a few additional guidelines for buildings that are taller than 3 stories. Extinguish or dim exterior and decorative lighting, spotlights, logos, clock faces, greenhouses, antenna lighting. The lobby and atrium lighting, let's dim those as well. And lighting in perimeter rooms on all levels of the building. Avoid floodlights illuminating interior plants or fountains and unoccupied floors. Avoid scheduling cleaning crews after dark, and avoid blue, rich, white light emissions. Lighting with a color temperature of more than 3,000 Kelvin is super bright and distracting. We want a nice amber color. Use desk lamps or task lighting rather than overhead lights at night. Blinking lighting in place of continuously burning lights is also very helpful. And warm light sources, less than 3,000 Kelvin, for your outdoor lighting will make a huge difference. And what's good for birds is good for people. Turning off non-essential lights or shielding essential ones is also good for people. Artificial light at night can negatively impact our health, from sleep deprivation to depression to heart disease. By turning off lights, we protect birds, ourselves, save money, and reduce carbon pollution. I don't see a bad part of that at all. Okay, we have the evening migrators covered, but what about during the day when these birds are searching for resources such as food and water so they can keep moving? Daytime window collisions are also a serious concern. So Audubon Texas has partnered with Texas Conservation Alliance to get the word out. Birds can't see glass. I mean, we can't see glass when we're kids until we learn. Don't walk through the glass. Instead, both us as children and birds see whatever happens to be reflected in the mirror-like surface of the window. They perceive this as a continuation of habitat. Clear glass is seen as an open passageway. I can fly right through that, or I can walk right through that. Glass puts migratory and resident birds at risk of building collisions. It's estimated that between 100 million and 1 billion birds die every year in collisions with man-made structures, one of the biggest killers of migratory birds. But there is something we can do to prevent this. Bird-safe glass is specially designed to make glass a visible obstacle to birds. A variety of approaches, such as fritting, silk screening, or ultraviolet coating, can be used. And what you need to do is create a pattern that breaks up the reflectivity of the glass so the birds will know how to avoid it. They don't see the tree reflected in the window anymore. They see spots, and they don't know that they can fly into that, or they don't know that they can go sit in there. It becomes an actual obstacle. There are several easy to install and inexpensive options for homeowners. Window clings, white dot stickers, and bar soap. Yep, believe it or not, bar soap is still useful for a few things. These are all things that can be used to break up reflections on glass. Many window clings have fun designs that you'll love to look at, and the small white dots are so inconspicuous you won't even know they're there. But the birds will see it and will save their lives. I will leave a list of resources in the show notes for you, as always. And if you live near Cedar Hill, come into our visitor center at Dogwood Canyon Audubon Center and we'll help you find just what you need. Now, here in Dallas, at the recording of this podcast in August 2026, the K. Bailey Hutchison Convention Center building is under refurbishment. And due to a dead bird survey project through Texas Conservation Alliance that walks the streets of downtown Dallas during migration season, counting and collecting dead birds, we know that 30% of all birds collected in Dallas died due to collisions with this building. When plans for the refurbishment were announced, Audubon, Texas, and residents of Dallas County demanded bird-friendly glass, and the city listened. The new K. Bailey Hutchison Convention Center will be using bird-friendly glass. Thank you to everybody who helped support that. What a win for birds. So please join us this migration season to help save birds. Turn your lights out from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. and put up window treatments that prevent bird collisions during the day. Fall migration begins August 15th and runs through November 30th, with peak migration from September 5th through October 29th. Spring migration runs March 1st through June 15th, with peak migration from April 22nd to May 12th. If you don't have the ability to alter the windows on your building, or think you don't, visit the Audubon Action Center to find out how you can use your voice to make a difference in birds' lives. For those of you who are listening outside the state of Texas, don't fret. There are many Lights Out networks out there. There are ones in Boston, New York, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Detroit, St. Louis, Denver, Seattle, San Francisco, and many more. All you have to do is go to National Audubon's website and check out the Lights Out program to find out if there is one near you. If there isn't a program in your city and you'd like to bring one to your city, there are resources there that can help you do that as well. If you like this podcast, please rate and review us. Reviews help new listeners find us, which means more people learning about birds, resulting in more impactful bird-friendly actions. And we'd love to hear from you. Please reach out via email and our social medias with questions, comments, or bird and native plant sightings. Until next time, keep learning and keep birding.